This week's chapter of Chainsaw Man is called 3 Seconds, and I feel like that's how long it takes for each and every one of us to read one of these chapters. And we get so excited, especially where the last place we ended off was with Death confronting Fake Saw Man, Fake Chainsaw Man. I love what the community is calling this monstrosity. And there's a lot of interesting things going on in this chapter, which may seem one-sided at first, but alas. Let's put our thinking caps on for 2 seconds and acknowledge, is there something much more menacing with Death? Because she does not look impressive. And I made a post a couple days ago saying, are we actually going to see this battle between Death and Fake Saw Man? And a lot of people said no. Some people said yes, and I personally thought Fami was going to intervene and they were just going to tease us. But no, we see this battle play out, and it's pretty convincing that Fake Saw Man comes away with the W against one of the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse, which is an impressive feat. But there's a little something weird with Death, which we'll talk about a little later on. Let's go ahead and just glaze Fake Saw Man, because as we begin with this chapter, we see here Fake Chainsaw Man keeping up with the hero persona, tells the student that he's going to rescue him. Chainsaw Man ends up cutting her to pieces rather, and then we get some interesting bit of dialogue from the Fake Chainsaw Man as he's questioning himself. Wait, Death can't be that easy to defeat. And then he's having this interesting dialogue where he says, "You've never steered me wrong before." He's talking in the second person point of view. You've never steered me wrong. He even goes a little later into saying, "No, we don't make mistakes." So several of you guys in the community were pointing out that the Fake Chainsaw Man isn't singular. He's not just one person. There are multiple Fake Chainsaw Men. I like this because, well, a lot of people in the Chainsaw Man church did make a contract with the Fire Devil, who's acting like he's the Justice Devil. More on that in a second. And they became this personified version of what they believed is a hero. In this instance, it would be Chainsaw Man. So it's not too crazy to believe that Fake Chainsaw Man is just one of these people, but his level of justice is just more OP than other people. Think similarly to how Yuko's personification of justice was reading Asa's mind, and then for whatever reason why she turned into a big blob thing. Let's not talk about the semantics of that. What I'm trying to get at is that this Fake Chainsaw Man talks in the second person, then says, "We don't make mistakes." And now I'm thinking, what if the multiple Fake Chainsaw Man, theory or concept a lot of people are talking about, maybe multiple Fake Chainsaw Man is one in the same. So he goes on to saying in this chapter, after he seemingly defeats Death, saying that the Justice Devil is inside of him. Now, if I can recall your memories, the Justice Devil was the big blob thing that Denji and Asa was running away from in the Falling Devil arc. And we know that this is true because there was some public safety devil hunter that inspected the body of this big blob, and he's like, no, without a doubt, this is the Justice Devil. Personally, I think that was Fujimoto just self-inserting himself to tell us, the readers, that blob was in fact the Justice Devil. So when Fake Chainsaw Man in this chapter says the Justice Devil is inside of him, he really means the Fire Devil, because we learned in the Chainsaw Man church arc that the Fire Devil is telling people that he is the Justice Devil, because fire is an interesting concept. It can represent change, but it can also mean consume and destroy. And I think the more impressionable thing for a teenager is to say, hey, you're making a deal with the Justice Devil, not the Fire Devil. It's a better sell to say, hey, Fire, you know what? Just pretend you're the Justice Devil, because you're going to convert a lot more people to hop on our side. Anyway, I'm rambling. This is just all to say that this Fake Chainsaw Man is saying he has the Justice Devil in him. Could he potentially have the blob from the Falling Devil arc within him? Maybe, but I also really like that this is just still another person who made a contract with the Justice Devil, but is in fact the Fire Devil. Now, this is a little interesting if, in fact, the Fake Chainsaw Man has the Justice Devil inside of him, because if it's really the Fire Devil, we know the Fire Devil was one of the people that was going to greet Death, seemingly, according to what Yoru told Denji a few weeks back, alongside with the new Reborn Again Blood Devil and potentially the Control Devil. But no matter how you spin it, I like everything so far about the Fake Chainsaw Man. I never commented on the meat cape that this guy's wearing, but you can tell he's a bit of a fanboy, right? He is a Superman. He is a hardcore Chainsaw Man fan, whether it's Haruka and Segiya Koku combined into one person, or this is just a brand new character completely, or it's the person who made the public announcement in the Chainsaw Chainsaw Man church arc that says, I am the fake Chainsaw Man. There's lots of interesting things for where it can go, but design-wise, I love the mannerisms. I love that he's seemingly on the good guy side, and he is trying to prevent the Nostradamus prophecy. But again, I cannot wait to learn more about that. Now, let's go ahead and talk about Death, because Death, she took some L's, not once, but twice, from fake Chainsaw Man. But what happened when she lost her arm? Her arm grabbed the poor student, basically drained and sucked his life force, and that was enough to revive Death. Now, this is very menacing, because I think whenever you introduce any new character or a threat in, any type of story, you have to make them look impressive. Now, while we got some glimpses of Death from the last chapter and how she's a bit of a Kobeni type, a bit of a scaredy cat, and she is the opposite of what she's representing, Death, but then the moment she revives, she starts analyzing the fake Chainsaw Man, and she even breaks it down pretty intelligently, where she talks about the center of gravity and the stance, and the way he attacks, he must be a close range fighter, and the way she was very analytical when she got serious was very impressive to me. She's like, I think I know the way you're gonna fight. Now, again, what ends up happening, it's really, her analysis was way off, or it was actually on point, but it didn't matter because she's facing off against the fake Chainsaw Man, who, the close combat fighter, even if he's only that, is still maybe put in a bad position from what Death can do, or maybe Death is a long-range fighter, or she just is not good at combat whatsoever. Regardless, she tells Chainsaw Man, I will save you in 3 seconds. And I think there still might be some truths to it, despite the Fujimoto and Chainsaw Man humor that we've all come to know and love. There's something that tells me here, the way that Death looks on the micro level looks pathetic, but in the macro, we will find out very shortly why Death is not only one of the horsemen of the apocalypse, but arguably the most menacing horseman, next to Yoru, of course, depending on where the narrative ends up going. When Death is something that looms over each and every one of our heads, I like that concept of, hey, Death doesn't have to be menacing. Death is going to come after you at some point or another, because we can never escape it. So that is actually a little bit terrifying to me, and I think that's what we are going to see with Death over here. Maybe as a fighter and combatant, she's nothing, but if she touches you and she gets around to figuring out how you fight, kind of like a Batman type of thing, then it's game over for you. So we will talk about this more in the live stream later on today. So if you want to click on that, go ahead and click right here. Dude, fake Chainsaw Man, right? I know. Very cool. So, okay, go ahead and join me in the live stream. Fuck off.